In Romania, one aspect of the election was clear. The turnout was a record low, 32%, the fewest Romanians going to the polls since the Romanian Revolution over 3 decades ago. The modernising pro-European stance of the National Liberal Party received less approval from the Romanian electorate than it had hoped. But the party's leader claimed victory, placing hope on the ballots of 4 million Romanians who live abroad.
Given the fact that researchers do not take into account the votes between 7:30 and 9 p.m., nor the huge number of votes cast outside Romania, which are still coming in, also taking into account the error margin and all evaluations we did, the Liberal Party considers itself the winner of these elections.
The strong showing for the rival Social Democratic Party brings back memories of a raft of political scandals. 3 years ago, after the Social Democrats took power, there were protests when an emergency decree effectively decriminalised low-level corruption. What followed were fears Romania was set to follow Hungary and Poland towards a less liberal form of democracy. But 2019 seemed to halt such progress. The Social Democratic leader was jailed for abuse of office, and the government was toppled in a no-confidence vote. Analysts say the low turnout may have helped the Social Democratic resurgence.
The Romanians who went to vote did so because they overcame their fears and understood the need for the Orban government to go home. At this moment, the Social Democrat Party has an advantage in the exit polls, even if we need to consider the votes from outside the country.
Far-right nationalist party Alliance for Romanian Unity will be in Parliament for the first time, winning almost 9% of the vote. Recently, Romania has had a string of governments and 5 prime ministers in 5 years. The Liberal Party's handling of the pandemic is thought to have lost its support. There have been, with relatively tough lockdown restrictions, 500,000 cases and 12,000 deaths. These elections were never likely to give a strong majority to any single party. The National Liberal Party is upbeat about governing in a coalition with at least one other small party, keeping Romania on a pro-European path. Whether or not it stays on that path is a question sparked by the strong showing for the Social Democrats, the party many commentators thought represented a past from which Romania wished to move away. Linda Kennedy, CGTN,